What are you working on?
I was making the hole a little bit bigger because I accidentally made it too small. But yeah.
Oh, it does look good.
Tipping it.
Tipping it. What's up?
Found some holes.
Guess what?
Huh? Oh! They showed up.
They showed up.
It's
round two.
Round two. That hole is a little smaller than I thought it was. I mean, that's what testing's for.
Yep.
Trying stuff here.
So I thought the holes a little smaller and the inside are a little bigger than I thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I don't know if it's exactly off your drawing or not, but
It probably is. It's just looking at it on there probably looks a little different than seeing it in person.
nice.
They did a really good job there.
Yeah, it definitely, the height is different.
Yeah, they extended that just a little bit.
We should open this up. So they are divided inside.
Yeah, they don't cross flow at all. They're completely separate
You lengthened it so it got rid of some angle.
angle.
And we can make it more adjustments as we go.
Throw it on the float and see.
Yeah.
You could put 1 to 1, like 2 different styles, and see the different spray patterns from that bolt. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I'm excited to see this.
Yeah.
Round two.
Oh,
Inject. All right, so now we've got these all separated. We're getting these together. These are smaller inside.
Yeah, they're smaller, so we're hoping it'll keep the flow good, and it's not gonna, recirculate air back in there or puddle up any of the fuel or any of that. If it works, we'll know soon.
And we will know very soon. So this is part two. If you guys saw part one, well, Band-Aid's falling off. If you guys saw part one, we had these adapters, and basically they were, you can see through both sides. We had that on the top and the bottom. Now we're still using these for the tops while we're playing with all of this, trying to make it work. But we redid some bottoms. Steven made the hole a little smaller so that it would reatomize. We're about to test this out and see how it'll work. All right, Steven, you want to explain what you've changed on these new adapters you came up with?
I guess smaller. They're divided and smaller on the inside. We're trying to, like, the same idea is kind of like a jet in a way, trying to like reatomize it or keep it from unatomizing before it comes out of the, I guess, hole, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you added some length to the top.
Yeah, just so they seat a little farther in.
And that also helps promote the less drastic angle.
Yeah.
And that's something we're gonna do on the tops as well, is extend that, just so there's a little more engagement into the rail.
Yep.
So we'll finish getting these together. We'll check them in the machine. We'll put them in a car. We'll get some idea if this will work or if we need to change something else. Yep, let's go.
That's the 1,000.
That is way better so far.
Yeah.
Your little invention here.
That's the 1,000. That's the 22.
So that's the single 1,000.
Single 1,000. And now, same test.
Woo! Woo!
It's a lot more fuel.
That's a lot more fuel. She was gonna overflow.
Yeah, almost out. I went to reach 2.
I know. I was like,
Yeah, stop it.
Don't do this to me.
you're filling up way too fast.
I don't want to clean up a mess today.
What is that fluid?
Heptane.
Heptane.
All right, we got our buddy Nick's car back out here on the dyno, and we're gearing up to put the dual injector setup in it. Now we're hoping this time we can have some throttle response and that everything will work correctly. It looked pretty good in the injector machine, so that was definitely a confidence builder right there. It's gonna work. What do you think?
We'll see.
We'll see.
A little more confidence there, brother.
I'm confident. We'll see. You know, I think it'll work.
You gotta be like, well, I'm the best designer in the world. I was creating like bald eagle and no. All right, you can see they go in real nice. It looks really good. So I'm stoked about that. We're gonna prime it real quick, make sure there's no leaks.
Again. Not yet.
Your injectors about overran that machine.
They did.
That was close.
It was.
Just think if they were both 2200s.
It would have overflowed a lot.
Yeah. That's pretty wild. All right, so injectors are installed. Jamie's on the laptop getting things all set up here. We're gonna try to start her here in a second. And we're still dealing with the dead battery because it's cold outside. And batteries don't live in the cold.
Correct.
That little bit of tip in seemed all right.
All right, guys, we're gonna put a little bit of heat in this bad boy, and then start to try to work this out. Like I said in the last video, this is definitely a solution for a lot of guys if we can make this work. So I want to make it work.
It's awesome.
To think my son designed this and he's trying to work it out, it makes me proud. You know, like trying.
She's idling smooth.
So Jamie's in there trying to give it some tip in, trying to find it. It sounded like there's nothing and then there's too much.
Trying to get the fuel there at the same time. Yeah, just trying to. And then the injection angle, I've been playing with that. You know, that's basically where it's before top dead center, where it's actually spraying it. So you saw when I went a low number,
It was like 980.
it was. Yeah. Now let's shoot the middle there. Second. So it's fairly lean in some spots.
Yeah, I can hear it dropping holes. That's
Yeah.
why I was like,
So what I started with was, you know, my Excel. I've like quadrupled the acceleration enrichment. I just wanted to drive and log so I could play with the fuel map and see if this all needs to stand up and if all that needs to stand up, you know, on the drivability, because it's, you know, when you tip in, it wants a bunch of fuel, but as you're driving through the map in different places, as you stab it, it's going to want fuel at different places. That's why I wanted to use more acceleration enrichment than the map.
All right, we're still trying to throw so much fuel at it. It's not quite right. I think we're filling up that. I think we're filling the adapter up with fuel, and then it squeezes out, but it's delayed.
What change was that?
So we changed the fuel injection angle. We pulled a bunch of fuel out of the map so we drove it on one injection angle, and then we just changed just the injection angle and drove it, and it actually smoothed the map out and a lot of stuff, but it was really rich, so we kind of pulled some of that fuel. And then right here we're just kind of playing with the acceleration enrichment. We did also change the variation percentage.
Yeah, that sounds great. And that's still only one injector.
Yeah. But I want to get this so it works exactly the same as it did. And then we can start splitting it.
The map is, log there's looking better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's less sporadic.
Like here in first gear, see, it still has that. So let's see when the acceleration's on. There was a little bit of acceleration enrichment right there because I stuffed the throttle up right there. But see how smooth and level the fuel is there? What is the fuel right there? That's pretty decent. So, okay, I like what you're thinking. I don't want to change anything. So we've gone from 800 back down to 400. So let's see how it sits here and runs and throttles, because it kind of had some problems at that number before, but we have fixed a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah,
So my theory is putting it way early is the delay in going back up and pushing the fuel out. By the time it comes out, maybe we're at 400. Is my thought process. And that's the injection angle. Check with James, see what the log says. But working on it.
See, like
it's less lean.
this spot right here. Yeah,
little rip there. See how it acts.
everything's pretty taken care of except for like first gear.
Yeah.
First gear is the tricky one right now because it just goes through those same cells, same Excel enrichment and everything.
Yeah, it lives
and
in the
it's
same spot.
lean, but then you shift into second and it's got just a lean hit and then it's good. Shift into third and it's got a rich hit and then it's good. Fourth, rich hit and then it's good. Definitely with these ones, I'm definitely a lot less frustrated on the tuning part. You know, before it was just no matter what you try and, you know, you have information in your brain that tells you what it needs and it wouldn't work. And this is actually working and it's making sense. And it's not like completely changing the tune. It's a little bit of fuel map, Excel enrichment, and the injection angle.
We like made some big changes and like originally, but then it's kind of came back to where it started.
That's why we've kind of just been doing a lot of driving.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Change. Okay, so we went really far to get it to rev. And then we started driving it and see how it acted. Okay, let's change this big number and bring everything else back. And then, you know, figure out what works together.
Yeah, and it's pretty much back where it was with.
The fuel map's a little different. The injection angle is way closer than the swings
It's
we
a
did.
little different, but yeah, it's
And then the
closer.
Excel enrichment changed a lot.
Yeah, that's the big change.
Well, what I wonder what's going on is if we're filling this cup, and then the pressure that's in that thing is pushing the fuel out, and that's the
I
delay.
think that's what the Excel is doing. It's
Pushing it
yeah,
through.
getting that like whole thing done, and then it's pushing
So-
it all through.
I wonder if the entire inside needs shrunk more.
It might.
So it can't fill the cup
So where
because of the delay. You know what I'm
It
saying?
may technically already be done.
That's what you were doing.
There may already be one that's like
So
yeah.
let me grab an injector real quick so you see where when
We
I
may
first
even-
said shrink this, where my idea came.
We may even put them back in the machine so we can kind of get an eye on how, on that amount of time or what it's taking to fill the cup. And then, because you made the hole smaller to re-atomize it. That was the whole point.
That was the whole. It's not just trying to like.
But to re-atomize it means we're filling that more than can come out. And then we
trying
put
to
pressure on
re-squeeze
it.
Yeah, we're trying to re-squeeze it and use the pressure on the backside of it to re-atomize it.
But if it's not full,
Yeah.
that's your delay.
Yeah, that's where the Excel enrichment comes in.
So this was what we looked at when we separated them and kind of made them longer. But the spray does come all the way to the end.
And so I drew another style of bottoms, not these ones, but after we had already done these ones, and it's more like I measured this outside diameter, made it like a little bit bigger so that it slides in, and then basically it's that consistent all the way
All
down.
the way down.
We'll see. I mean,
Yeah. I'm fairly happy with these so far.
yeah, these are way better.
But
But if we can
still be
fine tune
worth
it to where you
do
don't,
a V2
yeah,
to where we don't have to do
so much Excel
as
enrichment.
much Excel enrichment and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, where it acts more just
Because
normalized.
it is the Excel enrichment, but we did have to stack the map a little on that tip-in area
Yeah,
on the low side of the map.
and it's definitely way better.
It is definitely better.
We couldn't even get a solid pull like that.
I think you're definitely on the right track. It's like if we could just keep the flow and timing of the injector consistent, and that I feel would. But right now we got to fill it, pressure it. Because what'd you run it at on the machine? How many milliseconds was that?
I think it was 5.
5 milliseconds. And it really got wild with 2 compared to what it was
more
with
than
1.
triple.
Yeah, it was way more.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't really even get to see where it ended because it was going to overflow. Yeah, and the 22s might act better because
That's what
there's
I'm
just
saying.
more fuel in general.
Yeah.
It might.
So you fill the cup quicker.
that cup
That's
might
why.
just be
Yeah, that's
full.
why I was saying if we maybe tried that.
Yeah.
Make those the primaries.
might
Just
just
in the ECU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's spray the tires and let's just try and do a pull.
Yeah, and just watch it like a hawk.
Oh yeah.
That's nice.
It's coming around. Is pretty smooth.
Stuff was a little rough right there, but like you see, put it in fourth and like,
Looks like a normal.
yeah. And that was 10 pounds. We're, 2 to 6% off right there.
That's pretty dang good.
Yeah.
We are getting very close, boys. Very close. It's pretty exciting. Starting to solve it. I don't think we're quite there, but we're very, very close. Very close. If we can eliminate some of the enrichment and I'm just feeling like we're so close.
Is what they make that?
483.
Yeah, it's like
So-
right on par with what it normally does.
Yep. Yeah, and the graph just looks normal, so.
Yeah.
The exact same pull.
You see when it's on, you know, like right here, it brings our milliseconds up to like 12. And see, it's really rich right as we tip in. And then, see, it comes down to 7.9 and our air fuel starts heading back to where it needs to be.
All right, we're gonna check, see what duty cycle that was at as well.
Felt like normal, 93.
93.
And that with these injectors, that's kind of why we're where we're at.
Yeah.
That's about the power level. You know, it's 11 pounds.
See if we can cut that in half.
Yep.
Or a third. All right, so we've got the 2200s plugged in now. So both sets are plugged in. Let's see if we can cut that duty cycle in half. Yep. Yep. Try. All right, so now it's probably pretty fat.
Buku rich.
Buku.
Buku crazy rich.
Okay, so now we got something going.
I was driving Bucket Bronco over here, brother.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
I'm really glad you weren't over here. You would have laughed again, but this camera got my computer flying out of my lap. And I was 8-second ride.
Right?
over here.
Let's go! $477.
Yeah, I didn't pull all the way. Like, I
Yeah.
was close, but I just wanted to look at it. The driving kind of sucked. It was
Yeah, you just
little
needed to
rich
kinda
on
get
the
a reference where to
driving.
start.
Yeah. It's like, see, I'm still pulling 17% up here.
But now we're pulling.
And like down here, it was only pulling 5 because
And their fuel's still like 9 or something?
it was 11. Like
Yeah,
here in this spot in
Oh, okay.
third, like it was 9 for a second there.
Well, we're headed the right direction now. Duty
Yeah, man.
cycles are all down.
Now we're
That's what I
pulling.
need to look at.
Now we're pulling fuel instead of.
So we are at, okay, so right there, how far did we pull? 73, so we were close. We're at 11 pounds of boost, 11.7. We're down to 39% duty cycle on
That's
the
more
primaries,
like
22 on the secondaries.
There we
That's
go.
more like it.
So we
There's
need to
what
pull
we're after.
more out of the primaries to equal
Yeah.
ourselves.
That's more like what we're
Yeah.
looking for.
That's awesome. There we go.
So now everything's working.
That cut the freaking primaries pretty much like in thirds because it was at 8. Like it was at 80-something%, right?
All right. Things are starting to work. $486.
Doing that. But then it gets the secondaries on and it smooths it out. So like
So this is stuff we probably
this spot is
just maybe
right,
some tuning would take care
right
of.
here. So if you look, it's right here. But if we scroll through, like, see right here, it's in those cells. See how good it actually is right there? Like,
Yeah, it's like how we talked about the pump shot, not just
yeah,
filling that deal. And then when it does come out, it goes to a fat side.
yeah. And see, like, right here, we're in those cells, and see how rich it is in first. So see, those cells right there in second is lean as shit. But those same cells is rich in first.
But is that where the TPS is modulating? Do you have
So
Richmond
no,
stuff going on there? Or?
no. So the Excel enrichment is right here, and then it's off. It's gone right there. It's like there's a touch of Excel enrichment, but then it's fine. And then right here, it does Excel enrich like it's supposed to, but then it's so lean that I get that buck going.
Yeah, and that's what all that is.
Yep. So that's why it does all of that. But then if you look right here, like coming into this gear, like the Excel Enrich does okay. Going into this gear, the Excel Enrich does okay.
More time in the driving.
And in the actual acceleration.
But how do
setup.
we feel about the top end stuff?
It's
and
great.
And the
all the
two
like,
fuels.
just everything except right at the shifts is good.
Pretty much right at the shifts, you have a little dead zone, and then it's...
So right through there, he's stabbing it, he's trying to clean up all that, and trying to find where the injectors are gonna work best.
So see, I like rolled in real slow, and see how lean it is?
Mm-hmm.
And then,
This is just on the primary.
well, like they come, I'll show
They
you.
do come in a little bit.
Man, no, they didn't really, like it touched right there, and then it came on when I stuffed it, and it came on when I stuffed it.
Yeah.
I want to save
See what that would do.
this,
Yeah,
and then I want to just do
Play.
something stupid. I want to
that's not stupid.
take this to,
Cut it almost in half.
That's how you learn.
all right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up. This is all looking extremely good.
Yeah, I think
The
we are
dumbass-
making. We're definitely making some progress.
Yeah. I'd say they're most of the way there.
Close.
I think we got... Yeah.
I've just got a little bit of drivability tuning to deal with, but looking at it, it looks like that's something I can square away pretty easy.
Starting to get a handle on how it works.
Yep. I still might want him to try the version 3. Like we might want to
Yeah,
make those to make it easier on the tuning aspect of it.
Yeah.
'Cause, like,
It might change the whole world. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
all the little quirks that I'm doing right now, like this is stuff most, good tuners that understand and know what to deal with, but we want this to be, so the everyday
Easily
Joe
accessible,
that has a, Holly
Yeah,
or a fuel tech, they
already
can
has
deal
his
with
tune
it.
up and you
yeah,
can
they
just
can deal with it, and it's
Put
not,
it in and
it's not changing their world.
Because the whole point of these is that it's for, like, the
And so you
everyday
don't,
person.
yeah, you don't have
Yeah.
to spend
It's not-
all the money
yeah,
on
it's not supposed to be a big money
$2,000.
thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's supposed to be I have a stock intake manifold and the amount of fuel I can go this route.
And this took this thing from 100% duty cycle to 30 and 28.
Yeah.
30% on the thousands,
Yeah.
28% on the
Yeah.
2200s.
Yeah. Making
For-
the same power.
Same
So,
power.
buddy,
Yeah, that's
making
pretty
the
awesome.
same power, it brought it down by that much. If
Yeah.
this thing had more than a stock motor, we could really crank it up.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm curious where that's at. Where, like, how far the top hats will go.
I see no problem with them with the fuel pressure and everything so far. So
I mean, theoretically, you just crank that.
Well, it's, I mean, with the like differential pressure, like if we start draining the rail or anything, but I don't see any of that as a problem either. The only thing I think is your V3, which I don't remember if we talked about it on video or.
I think we did.
Okay, so the V3 was making the holes smaller, basically the same size as the tip of the injector, so that there's no wasted space for it to fill up before it comes out.
Carry the fuel
then
all
it'll
the way
just
through.
carry it all the way through. I really feel like we should try that because that'll solve some of our tip in and the right after the shift and all that.
Should save the delay.
Yep.
Save the delay. Yeah, that's how I see it too.
Yep. And a lot of the only real things that had to change on the tune, besides just tuning for a second set of injectors, the biggest things that changed on the tune was acceleration enrichment stuff, and
Injection angle.
Injection angle. That's basically the two big things that changed.
The injection angle is pretty close to where it started.
Yeah.
But it's not dead on there.
And that's a common thing you have to change depending on your intake manifold, where your rail's located,
length is,
you know,
and all that stuff.
You know, like with those long tipped 1150s we have, that number changes if we use those a lot of times because it does put the spray down farther into it.
Right at the valve, yeah.
So we do change the injection angle with different injectors, with different intake manifolds, with different, you know, rail placement. So,
but the idling and driving seemed pretty normal, and the full throttle seemed normal. It was just kind of when you tip it in.
Yeah, it's
and
like
that's where
on the shifts and all that.
Yeah, I really feel like the V3 would solve a lot of, like,
I think it would.
just that change. So we're not in production yet.
Nope, but we're getting
But
closer to this thing working.
It's worth keeping going, though.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
I do agree. We are so close.
They're V3, but technically my file says V9.
What
Awesome.
you got?
Got some Dumbo ears. It's Mario's Wayne, dude. Shane's playing with Mario's Wayne.
Yeah.
Just saying.
All right. Well, V3 will be coming up soon, and we definitely learned a lot today. Hope you guys learned a lot too.
Well, this is for a prelude.
I know, I'm just saying, to get that curve into
Look
there.
at those
again.
Prelude winglets. What do you got there, Mario?
Worst case you can get work on. Bro,
I know Nick is watching this video.
did you see
It
the
fits.
Bel Air flare?
Bel Air
Jamie loves
flare.
the bat-
Hold on.
the bat wing.
I gotta show something because I know Nick is gonna watch this video.
You know
This
he's
is just
gonna watch.
for Nick. Nick was here the other day, okay, and he said this wouldn't fit.
We're gonna sell him this
It
wing.
sits identical on here as it did on my car.
Yeah, it looks
That's
identical.
all I gotta say.
So,
It looks
yeah.
awesome.